Noor, Sandhu. I will be getting a Master's of Education in Music Education with K through 12 certification. I was born in India, and immediately after that my parents moved to Kathmandu, Nepal. We spent about 6 years there. Then we moved to Beijing. After Beijing, we moved on to Shanghai, and I graduated high school in Shanghai. And I came to Sarah Lawrence College, where I did my undergrad. 4 years there, up in Bronxville. And then I went to Manhattan School of Music across the street and got my Master's of Music and came straight over to TC. I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I used to line up my dolls across the windowsill of my bedroom in Nepal and teach them, you know, songs that I felt they had to know from The Sound of Music. So it was always something I wanted to do with my life. I've always been singing. When I grew up, I took part in the musicals and the plays and the Fiddler on the Roof and Pippin and Grease, and all those musicals were sort of, that was my creative outlet. It fuels me, it's what keeps me going. It gets the most emotion out of me, love and hate at times. In the Indian school system, it's kind of more focused on a final result, your final exam. So there was this focus on product versus process. And when I moved into the American system, it's very much about questioning, why am I doing something? Why is this important? Well, now that I know this, how can I apply this to this? And is this right? Should I accept this just at face value? There's always a pondering and an analyzing, because we're thinkers. And you want to raise people who question and think and analyze and ponder. And that's what really sat well with me. One of the things that's so great about schools, I think, in America, and specifically TC, is that we do question, what is this obsession with testing? Why is there this obsession with testing for these students for weeks and weeks and weeks? Why the regions? What's the incentive? And I feel like that's what I love so much about the American system, and especially, you know, studying here. We educators do fight for this education we want our students to have here. Teachers fight for it, and that's our role. That's our job. The students are the center of everything that we do at TC, and I think all of us have come in from so many different backgrounds and so many different forms of education. But I think we're all kind of encouraged here to risk take and to step outside our comfort zone. And there was a project we did for Dr. Alsup where we had to, it was called a matrix project, where we're supposed to write out a piece not using musical notation, which goes against everything that we've been trained to do up until coming here. But you're taught to step outside of what you consider normal and put yourself in the shoes of a student. It's this scramble of study, it's this continued questioning, it's this risk-taking. So we are encouraged to find the highest, truest expression of ourselves as human beings first, then we start teaching. So there's this self-exploration, which fosters our own students' self-discovery, which is what education is, the opportunities for them to grow in and of themselves. Which I've got here in all my classes in so many different ways. I am moving to Abu Dhabi in August, and I'm teaching K through 5 music there at the GEMS World Academy. What I've gained here and what I can take with me is that students are so intrinsically dynamic and creative. They're already set. We just sort of have to tweak and shape a little bit and craft a little bit, but students are already set. They're already natural geniuses. And I want to be able to foster that when I go to my next, you know, wherever that's going to be. If it's Abu Dhabi, eventually it'll be somewhere else. But I want to move around the world and share that with people who might not come from the same experiences I have, but I want them to get the same joy out of music as I have and as I do every day. I think one of the most amazing things about Teachers College is that it doesn't leave you. You know, you could be in Abu Dhabi, you could be in Milan, you could be in Cameroon, but you're always going to have a tie back here, because we're never done. We're never done with our you know, vocation, our job, our career. What makes teaching so incredible is that it is a lifelong process. And so I want to come back here and soak it all up again and go back out there and share it with, you know, students, and then come back here and get all this out of it again and then go back. And so I'm never really going to be done here. This is the place that stays with you, because you're questioning your whole life, and you're questioning all the time at TC. And that's what makes our education so uncommon and so wonderful.